Hello, today I thought I would finally update you on my thyroid healing journey because I haven't done any updates since the end of February, and I think it's the right time to do it because a lot of you have been asking how I'm doing nowadays, so I think I should do it now. And also, these questions were actually asked by one of you, a lovely viewer whose name is Nadine. So thank you, Nadine, for asking these questions. I think they're great, and a lot of different people have been asking similar questions, so here we go, let's get started. So the first question that a lot of people asked is what kind of supplements I'm taking right now, my current supplement regime, if you wish, and I'm really not taking much at the moment in terms of supplements. But really, I've really pared down the routine because as I'm getting healthier and healthier, I need less and less things to do well. So what I'm taking at the moment is just some vitamin C. I take this Natural Factors vitamin C, 1000 milligrams twice a day, and it's time release, so it's actually really good, and I like it, works well for me. Another thing that I'm taking is the dandelion root, which is really good for liver cleansing and for getting rid of any kind of water retention. Some people might have a problem with that, and I really like it too. I think I'll continue taking it for a while. And yeah, dandelion root is something I've wanted to try for a very long time, and so I'm trying it now. Another supplement that I'm taking now and have been taking for the last maybe 3 months is estrogens, and this one it has DIM, calcium D-glucarate, and also a few different herbs and supplements that help your liver function. So it's really good for estrogen dominance, for getting rid of excess estrogen, for balancing the hormones, for cleansing the liver so that it can get rid of the excess estrogen. It's great. It's working really well, and it's one of the best things I've ever taken in my whole healing journey. And then not every day, but if I'm exercising a lot, if it's really hot and I'm sweating a lot, then I would also take some potassium chloride and magnesium malate, just like in the past. I always have them on hand because I live in an extremely hot climate. Like right now we have around 40 degrees outside. It's seriously hot. I'm sitting here right now totally drenched in sweat. So without these two things, I literally could not survive. I also still drink my tulsi tea once a day in the evening, not just before bed, but maybe a couple of hours before bed. And it really helps me sleep and relaxes me, distresses me. I still love it. It actually is really good for estrogen dominance too. And an eyelash has just fallen into my eye and I'm crying. I hope it's all right now. Let's continue. A lot of people have also been asking me about my experience with taking natural desiccated thyroid, whether I'm still taking it, and whether it's been helping me. So I took it for quite a while, since beginning of February, and I actually stopped taking it 3 days ago. I just feel it's the right time for me to get off it. So I went to half the dose for a few weeks, but in the last week or two I really felt that I was ready to get off it completely because I felt like it was too much for me. Thanks to the supplements that I've been taking, I feel like my thyroid is doing so much better and I don't need much support. So I'm a huge believer in receiving messages from the universe or intuition, my own intuition. So when I was meditating the other day, I got a very just clear urge to give up, to get rid of the natural desiccated thyroid as soon as possible because it was kind of holding me back. And so I did it, and let's see how it goes. I'm going to do a blood test in a few weeks and I will keep updated. I have no idea what it's going to be like, but so far I feel perfectly fine. If I can continue without taking any thyroid medication, that would be amazing. And also one more thing is that when it's really hot outside, when it's warm, summer season, then thyroid function actually improves, while in cold weather thyroid function gets worse. So it's really hot right now, maybe that's why my thyroid is doing so well, but we'll see how it does in the winter. I have no idea, but for now it's doing great. And you might be wondering how I knew that it was time to get off it. I started getting the same symptoms that I was getting at the beginning when I was looking for the right dose for myself, when I was gradually increasing to get to the right dose. And when I overdid it, I felt exactly the same way as I felt in the last few weeks. So I knew that it was time for me to get off it. So I felt really hot on the back of my neck, on the top of my back, kind of like hot flashes that you would get during menopause, I would imagine. It was kind of similar. And then my my body temperature was really getting too high. In the evenings I had 37.2 pretty much every evening during follicular phase, which is really too high. I was getting shaky hands sometimes, a little bit kind of hyperactive, and I was also having some troubles to fall asleep in the evening. Like I just couldn't switch off. I wanted to get up and do things. So that's how I knew it was time to get rid of it. Now, the next question that a lot of you have been asking is what improvements I've seen since I started taking natural desiccated thyroid, and since my thyroid started working so much better in the last few months. So I've seen quite a few incredible improvements. Probably the most important one for me is the quality of my exercising. So I've been exercising really well for the last maybe 2 or 3 months, and I've seen incredible results. I've seen incredible gains that I haven't been able to see in the past. Also, my flexibility went through the roof. I'm now more flexible than I've ever been in my life. Even when I was at school, I used to really struggle with flexibility and stretches. I was probably one of the worst ones in the whole class. But now, out of the blue, I can reach my toes when I'm sitting, and I can do so many things that I could never do before, and that makes me very happy. Also, I have no lower back pain at all, so I can do all kinds of yoga poses with no problems, and I have just so much more endurance and muscle strength, which is great. I'm really enjoying my exercises. Also, next thing I noticed, recovery. My recovery is so fast nowadays, so I can exercise in the morning and I'll be ready to go again by that same afternoon, which is amazing, because in the past it used to take me 2 or 3 days. My skin on the feet, on my soles, and my overall body is just very nourished and very soft. No dryness at all, which again is a great sign of much healthier thyroid function. I've been sleeping really well. I've been falling asleep easily, and I've been waking up really rested in the morning, which is a new thing for me, because again, I've been waking up super tired for years now. So waking up rested and ready to tackle the day is a new feeling for me, and I'm loving it. My hair feels much thicker. When I put in a ponytail, I can really feel that the ponytail is so much bigger than before. My energy is quite stable nowadays. Well, not quite. It's very stable nowadays. I'm pretty much functional every single day. I hardly have any depressive thoughts nowadays. Sometimes, especially during PMS times or around my ovulation, I'll still get a bit of down times, but not really, nothing like before. I can still function, I can still do things, and I don't hate myself, which is great. Also, my basal body temperature has gone up a lot to the normal ranges now, sometimes even too high, like I explained before I stopped taking the thyroid medication. I can eat anything I like now, my digestion is perfect, I'm very regular, like a clock. And finally, my periods. My periods got much lighter. I would say they're probably more like a normal person's period now. They're not too heavy, and they're also shorter. There's still room for improvement. My main problem now is the pain, really bad period pain, which I'm working on, but other than that, it's perfect. I'm really happy. Whatever I'm doing is definitely working. And now let's talk about the things that really helped me the most in healing my thyroid so far. So talking about this, I need to talk about 2 things. 1, getting rid of H. pylori once again, and 2, tackling my estrogen dominance. So for the first one, for H. pylori, if you've been following for a while, you'll know that last year, pretty much a year ago, a bit more than a year ago, I took some mustard and oregano oil to get rid of H. pylori, and it worked really well. But the problem is, mustard is quite expensive, and I really didn't have money at the time, so I decided to cut my treatment short because I felt fine, so I didn't complete it. And a few months later, I kind of started getting some of the problems back gradually until they started feeling quite bad again. I started getting acid reflux again and some gastritis pain in my stomach, and I knew it was time to repeat the treatment and this time do it properly. So that's what I did. I almost completed 2 months of a full dose of mastagum. I actually have 1 week left now, so I'm still on it. And then I'll do other 2 months of half a dose, so just 1 capsule a day. And this is the one I've been taking. It's from the Nutricology. And I also did 3 courses of oil of oregano, wild oregano. I did 2 weeks, then I rested for 2 weeks, and then another 2 weeks, and again rested for 2 weeks. It's so amazing for H. pylori, for candida, for any kind of bacterial overgrowth in your intestines. It's really good for anything. and the combination of these two really helped get my digestion working really well too. And I found that it also really calmed down my adrenals as well, and since I did that, I pretty much didn't have any adrenal issues anymore. And then for estrogen dominance, like I said, EstroSense has been a godsend for me. It made such a huge difference. I tried DIM in the past, but I think I didn't take enough. That's why I didn't see any real difference. But this time I'm taking a lot of it and I'm seeing results. I think it's what really changed my periods to much lighter, much better ones. And I think it's what finally made my thyroid work properly, because I can finally absorb that thyroid hormone, which I couldn't do before because of all that excess estrogen. These two are the real stars of my healing so far. Now, you've been also asking me about what I eat, so not much has changed since my last video about what I eat, about intuitive eating. I still eat intuitively. Whatever my body needs, I'll give it to my body. So right now it's really hot, you know, it's the middle of summer, so I really have no wish to eat meat. So we'll eat mostly eggs and dairy and maybe chicken sometimes, mostly fish and seafood, and some chorizo, but just tiny pieces, just more for the taste than for the actual, you know, protein or meatiness, anything like that. I eat my homemade bread, I eat a lot of legumes, so beans, chickpeas, lentils, a lot of cooling fruit, and I hate anything sour, so I don't eat any sour fruit, only sweet ones like watermelon, bananas, melon, figs, you know, things like that. And I still eat everything, gluten, you know, whatever, as long as it's mostly homemade and all natural, local, organic. Sometimes not even organic, but as long as it's homemade by me, as long as it's real food, I'm happy with that. But if you want to know more about how I eat, then just watch the video about my way of eating. I will put the link somewhere up here for you. And the last question that a lot of you have been asking me about is the copper situation, whether I'm still taking copper or liquid chlorophyll. So I haven't taken any copper or liquid chlorophyll for a few months now, probably since maybe March. So since I fixed my copper deficiency, I haven't had any need for it anymore, which is brilliant. It didn't even take that long, maybe 2 or 3 months, and I was fixed. Also my husband, he hasn't had any backache for many months now, and generally when he lacks copper he starts getting backache, so he hasn't had that. I haven't had any copper or zinc deficiency signs either, which is great. But if I ever have any copper deficiency symptoms in the future, I will surely take chlorophyll or copper again, because they help me a lot. So in a few weeks time I'm going to do my blood work and check my thyroid levels and a few other things, so I'll definitely keep you updated on that. I really hope that it's going to be all good, because I really can't wait to start a family and, you know, to start trying for a baby. So all I'm waiting for is just to go ahead, good blood test, healed thyroid, and then we'll start trying. So wish me luck, fingers crossed, and thanks for watching. If you are healing yourself, then I'm wishing you loads of healing, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.